series that Netflix just came out with called Death by Lightning. It's about, I think James Garfield was the 20th president, if I'm not, I could be wrong about that. But so it's about how James Garfield became president, and then the guy who assassinated him. It was so good. I made the joke with my friend Luke, who was a history major when he went to college, and so we talk about stuff all the time. I sent him a text about it, and I said, this series is so good that Karen actually enjoyed it, which is kind of twofold because it's historical and political. And that's usually something Karen is not going to really want to hang in there for unless it's presented really well. And this was presented really well. I don't want to ruin anything about it, but it's so interesting. I had no idea. I knew he was assassinated. I did not know how he was assassinated, and that how he died really had nothing to do with his assassination.
I know who assassinated him. The lightning. You already gave that away in the beginning of the conversation.
It was not the lightning. It was not the lightning. They reveal why they called it that, I think, in the third episode. I honestly thought it had something to do with the electric chair or something. I was just like, what are they talking about?
Well, that's deceptive practice, Ken.
I think what makes it so intriguing is that in school, at least back when we went to school, history really focused on the big players, especially as far as the presidents go. You really don't get into other presidents that didn't have the prominence or the major things that happened during their presidency. And even more interesting was his vice president and how he became president for one term. It was just crazy interesting. Give him credit. I mean, the way they broke it down into 4 episodes, there's not a lot of wasted time. Everything is really informative. Good actors. Michael Shannon is the actor, Michael Shannon, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. General Zod.
Yeah.
The new General Zod. The new General Zod.
Right. There you go. He plays Garfield.
Zod Jr. Zod Jr.
He plays Garfield, and the guy, I can't ever think of his name, the guy that was with the mustache that was in Parks and Rec.
Nick Offerman.
He plays Garfield's vice president. He is a character in this series. And the guy that plays the assassin, he's actually a British actor, and I actually commented to Karen, when you see him on things.
Captain Lightning.
I'm trying to give my review here, and look at what you're doing to me.
I thought you gave the review right in the beginning when you said Death by Lightning. I said, well, there it goes. There's the whole story of James Garfield in the bottle. I was about ready to say, Ken, you're just changing up history now. What are you doing? You're an apologist for Mother Nature and lightning and everything. If lightning did it, take responsibility for it.
I should have told you it was called Ride the Lightning. Then you would have taken it in a completely different direction.
While you're getting something together, let's go through some basic facts about James Garfield. So he's a self-made scholar, Civil War hero, and reform-minded politician who became the 20th U.S. president, only to be tragically assassinated by lightning after just 200 days in office. Let's look at his early life. He was born November 19th, 1831 in Moreland Hills, Ohio, grew up in poverty and raised by his widowed mother. People just had to work really hard back then. I mean, overcome a lot of things and just to become something. It's pretty amazing. He worked as a carpenter, teacher, and janitor. He supported himself through school, eventually graduating from Williams College in Massachusetts, which happens to be my home state, Ken. So not only did your buddy Doc here come from Massachusetts, but so is the guy who had to fight off The lightning president. He was a gifted orator and devout Christian. Garfield was drawn to the anti-slavery movement and joined the newly formed Republican Party. He has a military and political career, and he won the election against the Democrat Winfield Scott Hancock, the world famous Winfield Scott Hancock. And then he took office March 4th in 1881 with Chester A. Arthur as his vice president. Well, his biggest, at least, it garnered support after his death for civil service reform, leading to the Pendleton Act of 1883, which began the shift toward merit-based government hiring. Very interesting. So back to you, Ken, in your review.
Well, like I said, Nick Offerman plays Chester Arthur, and I think it's so interesting just because it's a story we're not familiar with. I mean, you learn a lot. Like, I don't think I'm really giving away anything here, but he wasn't even running for president when he became president, when he got nominated for president. He was doing a stump speech in Chicago. He was just there to give a speech. He wasn't there to put his hat in the ring or anything like that. And people were in the crowd were so moved by the speech that he gave that some of the delegates started throwing his name in, and before you knew it, he got the nomination. He wasn't even trying to be president. That to me was the most amazing part about it. And then he basically gets stuck with Chester Arthur, who really was just kind of a hooligan. He had no desires set on being in politics or anything like that. He worked at the port in New York. It's just a really amazing American story with somebody that we're just not that familiar with. And then on top of it, they had great actors playing these characters. The assassin was Charles Guiteau. He's played by Matthew McFadden, a British actor who has been in so many big, like probably his big show was Succession. And he always plays these oddball, strange characters. I said to Karen last night, of all the British actors that I know, he has the best American accent. He somehow, I don't know if he's taken training for it or whatever, but you would never guess that this guy is British. In every show that I've seen him in where he plays an American character, he knocks it out of the park. You'd never guess he was British. And he was actually really brilliant in this. As we were watching, Karen was doing some research about him, and basically under today's guidelines, they would have labeled this guy as mentally unstable. Just, they didn't have those types of diagnoses back then, and unless you were obviously extremely out there. But the most interesting thing about the assassination part of it was that he survived 3 months after the assassination. And what they came to realize is that the surgeon that tended to him was messing around. They were basically trying to get the bullet out on the spot. That they had done so much, that this guy had done so much messing around and cutting and all this stuff over a period of months that he ultimately died from sepsis. Had they never messed with the bullet, odds are he would have lived. But it was this doctor's intervention, and he kept trying. They go into that in the series, that this guy was relentless on trying to get the bullet out of him. And because of all that, he got infections and all kinds of other stuff. They never put him in a hospital. They kept him in the White House. I don't know if that was the protocol back then or whatever. I'll mention one other thing that I always think this when they show these kind of movies. When they show presidential pictures, presidential movies of guys in that era, whether it's him or if it's Lincoln, Washington, it absolutely blows me away that the White House in those days was like an open door. It was like your neighbor's house. If you wanted to see the president, You could walk into the White House and make an appointment to see the president. That is mind-blowing to me. I mean, that is just incredible. Like, when I see that, it's just like, wow, amazing.
And that's like the Lincoln movie with Daniel Day-Lewis. You saw people that were just kind of waiting there, waiting in line to talk to the president. And they're like, okay, come on in and wait around. Nothing bad could come about this. I heard that Daniel Day-Lewis, now I could be wrong with this, he doesn't do much films anymore. I guess he has one coming out with his son or something?
Yeah, that's right, because he came out of retirement to do it.
He has an uncredited role in the show that you're talking about.
Oh, really?
He has an uncredited role as the Lightning. I don't know how he does it, but anyone who could turn himself into a bolt of lightning is just, he's a method actor. So for him to play a lightning bolt, and he didn't want credit for it. It was amazing. I don't know how they did it. I don't know how he was able to transform himself into that character.
Oh my God. I fell for that so bad. That's not even funny. All right, so now I have to shut you down about this. His wife in the movie, who's played by Betty Gilpin, when they're having a discussion. What's that?
From Frasier?
No.
Oh. Who's the actress that plays? Yeah, I can't remember her name. Was it Roz or?
Yeah.
The one that worked for him on the radio show.
That was Harry Gilpin.
Okay, it could be an alias or AKA. Who knows? But okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
We went so far down the rabbit hole.
Oh, before we get into that, you talk about McFadden, this McFadden actor, right? Any relations to the actress Gates McFadden? Dr. Beverly Crusher from Star Trek.
I know who you're talking about. Doesn't mention it in his IMDb page.
Oh, I just need to bring that up because I love watching her on that show. I couldn't take my eyes off of her.
She was good. She was really good.
Yeah. Dr. Crusher. Beverly. His
wife is concerned about that very thing, about him getting killed running for president or becoming president. And he actually says, I've actually got a better chance of death by lightning than that happening. That is where the title comes from.
Well, we got to that. That was a great final tagline for that show. What's the name of the show again?
Death by lightning.
Sounds pretty good. I mean, I like those historical shows.
Well, if you just get Netflix back, you could actually watch a lot of the stuff in the Ken queue and just get on with it.
Yeah, I don't know. But sometimes the shows, you got to be careful. It's a production. It's a dramatization of historical stuff. So some of the stuff may be a little bit pushed over the top for entertainment purposes. All shows, I'm not mentioning that one in particular, but you got to keep in mind that it's for entertainment.
Of course, yeah. I will give him credit in the fact that the stuff that I did check on, all checked out, is accurate. But yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, otherwise it's just a documentary, which I'm not opposed to that either. That's totally, matter of fact, I'd probably want to watch one about Garfield because of this, just to get more information.
Well, it's been another great episode, Ken, of the Beyond the Rabbit Hole podcast. Some really informative and fun information. What do you have to say for yourself?
What do I have to say for myself? I never want to hear the word lightning ever again. So, yes, as always, we start off in one place, end up in another. Excellent time as always, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Ken. Well said. We'll see you soon, everyone.
Bye.